guys, it's me, Liz, from Elizabeth Does Flosstube. I also have an Instagram. I didn't put any pictures up this week, I don't think. I've been homesick all week, and I will be homesick for half the week next week. So I stitched a lot. I didn't stitch on a lot of things, not as much as you would think. And as much as I like the, what's it called? Tiny Decisions app, where you spin and it picks something for you to work on that day. I just wasn't feeling it this week. I wanted to work on the Buddy the Elf, so that was pretty much my focus for the week. I'll tell you the numbers. I worked on it almost every day. But last week, after I finished filming last week, I started working on my ultimate cross stitch, or ultimate color swatch. Okay, this is my second time filming this, which isn't bad. Normally I don't have to, but I just felt like starting over. So this is my ultimate color swatch. It's by Designs by Danny, what's it say on there? Cross Stitch with Danny. I can show you what the finished product looks like right here. It basically, you stitch a little bit of every color in the DMC palette. You backstitch grid lines, you backstitch all the numbers in the grid, and then you stitch a little bit of everything. And it's like, not like, my strands are cut to 18 inches, I think. 18 inches? No, twice that. And it doesn't even take a whole strand of my pre-cut lengths. But so here's where it was last time, and like I said, I worked on it 2 days, I think. But most of it isn't counting stitches, it's back stitching. So I worked on it for like 2 hours. Well, I guess it didn't do any hours. I didn't mark that down. I did 250 stitches one day and 192 stitches another day. Now, here's where I'm at. I'm trying to get at least all of these grids for this top chunk stitched. And then I'll come back and I'll work on the numbers. But I'm trying to get the top grid done so I can erase all this top stuff. It's heat erase pen. Basically what I do is I go into the bathroom and I use the hairdryer to erase. But I've got all this jumbly mess at the top. It's still scrolled way up. Where I've got like markings in the corners, and so I want to get that stuff erased so I can see how pretty it'll be. But each of these little squares, you stitch, let's see how close I can get. So you stitch 2 lines at the top, 2 lines at the bottom, and 1 line down each side. Each one is, it's like 60 something stitches. So 192 is, I think, 3 of these, or maybe 4. But I had finished my title last time, and I finished the zigzag. I'm gonna go in and do the crosses, but I wanted to get the corners done, and I couldn't figure out what I was gonna put in the corners. And I decided I'm gonna use one of the, oh my god, the word just fell out of my head again. Not prairie. Quaker. One of the Quaker stars. I'm gonna put one in each corner. But I'm trying to do it in a variegated. The first one I did, it did not look good. I got it almost all the way done, and I'm like, nope, doesn't look good. Pulled it out. Tried it in a different color, stitched it, or no, tried it as a blend instead. Still didn't look good, pulled it out. So I've stitched it twice in this corner. So this is my third choice, my third try, sitting here. I just haven't done it yet. And then all these threads, my plan is, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to stitch a little bit of every single color. And my plan originally was I was just gonna get all the grids done, the numbers done, and then I would just take a strand out of every single one of the things in my stash and stitch them eventually. But then I was like, what I can do is, as I'm putting things away, like when I finish a project, I can stitch the colors and then put them away. I did that for when I finished the Sleepy Hollow. Before I put those colors away, I stitched them on here. And so my new plan is, when I have a project that I'm working on, like, what's this one? The Long Dog. Every time I start a new strand of a new project, or, you know, a project I'm working on, I'm gonna stitch it. So these are ones I've done a corner. I did one stitch and then left the strand, so I can just come back whenever I have time where I don't want to have to sit and have my tablet with me. I don't have to have anything with me. I've got my needles on my octopus, which I think is fitting because I have 3 needles. Yeah, I have 3 needles. So he's holding multiple needles because he has multiple hands, because he's got tentacles. I don't know. So I have a needle that's for the up and downs. I have a needle for the side to sides, and then I have a needle for the numbers. That was my plan. That way I could have the black on 3 needles. But so that's my plan. And then, so I have a bunch of threads hanging that are ready to be stitched. I've got, I think, 4 colors ready to be stitched. No, 5 colors. Because there's 3 and then there's 2 more on there. So that's how I'm going to do it. And then, like, I have a new start over here too. And every time I start a new color, I'm just going to grab this, at least do a corner and get my thread on there. And then this will be something I can take to work. And I don't have to worry about a pattern. I can just sit in the break room. So there we go. So that's my ultimate color swatch. And it's awesome. I love it. I did change my numbers because she has, I'm sure I talked about this already. She has it so it's supposed to be on like a linen or an even weave or whatever. So you have the grid where you can put your needle between so you can do fancier numbers. So like the 2 and the 3 here are fancy because they're like not necessarily quarter stitches because it's just back stitching, but this is just on Ada and I can't split the thread. If I had to split the fabric to get in and out, it would take forever. So I'm doing like analog numbers, like, or like digital numbers on an alarm clock. I'm just doing simple numbers. Oop. Except for my 1, which I'm giving it a little bit of a fanciness. But other than that, that's how I'm doing it. That way I can just, they're easy, they're fun, they're quick. So that's that. I think I talked about that more than I did last time. So the main thing I've focused on all this week is Buddy the Elf. I did a quick, like a cross stitch, how I stitch kind of video. Because there's people that do like Stitch With Me, and they just basically record themselves stitching, and then they talk, you know, while they're stitching. They tell stories or whatever. But I feel like the way I stitch might be different than other people, so I made a video on how my hands move on the back of the fabric. Because I stitch with my right, but I move my left hand. Watch the video. But you saw me working on this in the video. That's why I mentioned it. If anyone is interested. I apparently have gone invisible on YouTube again. I don't understand how I popped up for a week. I got a bunch of new subscribers. Hello. And I'm back to not showing up when you search Flosstube. I don't understand how the algorithm works. I don't get it. I understand that there's hundreds of people doing Flosstubes, but I don't understand how I showed up. I changed all this stuff and it worked. I was showing up and I got new subscribers. I got lots of views, and now it's like I'm invisible again, and I don't understand. I don't know what happened. What changed? Nothing changed. In a week, I haven't changed anything. I don't know. So, maybe when I upload this, I'll become visible again. I don't know. So, here is what I worked on all week. Here's what the finished product looks like. Here is where I was last time, and here is where I'm at now. I got almost everybody done. Well, everybody's done. I'm working on the white. I want to get all this upper white done before I do the white letters. But, so everybody's done. I gotta do the back stitching still. That's why the walrus, he has a little bit on his face. The puffin has lines for his feathers up here. I don't know if Buddy has a smile. He might. I think the polar bear has something. So I don't have any back stitching done yet, but I got all this white done. There's still lines of white, so Buddy is standing on snow. Also, his legs are one row shorter, but it would involve me taking out the boots just to move him down. I think he's fine. So there's the white under them. He's got a white collar, white cuffs, and then the candy cane. And then the words say, "The best way to spread Christmas cheer is singing loud for all to hear." And Christmas is in red, all the rest is in white. That's why Christmas is written there. But I also did all my little snowflakes over here. And when I do his collar, I'll go around him. But the cool thing is, my Steve Irwin one will be able to fit on the bottom of this fabric. This is from Good Morning Maui, and so is the Steve Irwin one. It says, I think that one says, like, the message is simple. We need to protect our wildlife or something like that. I don't know. And it says Steve Irwin, and it's got him and a bunch of little Australian creatures. So, it's cool. So, that's what I worked on all week, because I was trying to get it done. So, on this, it's the 12th. So, on the 7th, I did 39 stitches. On the 8th, I did 363 stitches. On the 9th, I did 332 stitches. On the 10th, 412 stitches. And on the 11th, 234 stitches. So I didn't work on it all today because I had to work on the cryptids. But, so that was my main focus. I did spin the wheel on the Tiny Decisions app, and it is pretty adamant that I need to work on the bee bouquet, because twice I've spun it and then not done anything, and it's asked for the bee bouquet. So it's gonna have to be the next thing I work on. But, oh well, I'll get to it. So, the Cryptid Stitch Along. I had all this time off. I should have had the jackalope done, you know, last week. Last weekend I should have been able to do it, being off. I didn't. I just kept putting it off and putting it off until all of a sudden it's Thursday and the new one comes out tomorrow. I picked it up yesterday, but I only did like 44 stitches. I went to bed. I took Mucinex and it knocked me out. So I did 44 stitches yesterday, and I worked on it nonstop all day today because the new Cryptid came out today, and I wanted to get this done before I started the new one, obviously. And so I did something like 600 stitches today. 44 yesterday, 636 today. Oh, actually, it was still lit up on there. But here we go. Here's where it was last week, and here is where I'm at. So there's my little jackalope. He's a little fatter than he's supposed to be because his chest piece, it's off by one, so it's over this way, one more than it's supposed to be. But I think he's still awesome. I mean, no one else is gonna know that he's a little chunky, because he still looks like a rabbit, right? He really doesn't look any different than the picture. But there's my jackalope needle minder. I got that pin at Hot Topic. It was like $8 for a pin, for one pin. But then I thought about it. I'm like, needle minders, you buy them Etsy, they're at least $6. Some of them are like $10. So, and I wanted it. So I did it, and I made it into a needle minder. But, oh, well, technically, the Stitch Along, when it was released, you had a whole month to do the entire outside frame. I didn't even do that when I started it the first time. That's a lot. That's why they gave you a month. But I'm just doing the frame as it's needed with the actual cryptids. So technically, this page, or this release, isn't done because the black part of the frame should be up to here. But the next one is the Yeti, and he is right here. So I'll just extend it when I do him. It's fine. It's cool. As long as I got the cryptid done, and I have a whole nother week until the next one, I've got plenty of time to just work on that little black frame. I'll probably go ahead and do all the way across, just because. So, other than that, that's all of my WIPs, but I did have a new start, because I just didn't want to wait to do it anymore. I've been waiting, and I didn't want to start another thing, and then I didn't want to start another thing, but I do. It's like I do want to start it, but I don't. Like, I have so many projects kitted up and ready to go. Well, the floss is all ready, and I have to grid some fabric, you know, pegboard that I'm obsessed with. Stupid IKEA. I've waited and waited and waited for the bungees to come back in stock. I didn't want to go all the way there to get just the long hooks that I want, that are always in stock. So I'm like, I'll just wait until those bungees come in, and then I'll go and get the hooks and the bungees. So when I looked last week, it said that the bungees were back in stock. Sweet. I'll go on payday, and I'm going to go get my hooks and the bungees. I went yesterday, or no, it was payday. It was Wednesday, because we got paid a day early. Go to get the bungees. Super excited. Finally got them. I really just want them to keep my stabilizer up, so it's not on top of my dresser. It's not going to get dog hair on it. My little girl's not going to unroll it because it's on a roll. I can hang it up on there. Finally got the bungees. They finally came back in stock. I go to get the bungees, and I'm looking. The hooks are now out of stock. I can't believe it. They're always in stock. And now they're out of stock. So I have to wait for those to come back in. It's never ending. But, like I said, they got hit hard for that back to school when college kids went back to school, and it's like they have not gotten stuff back in yet. The pegboards, I'm sure, are very popular with the college kids, because it's like the pegboard itself is like $15, and the accessories and stuff, they're only like a few bucks. So it's an easy way to get your stuff organized. They don't really have sales. I don't think I've ever seen anything on sale. Well, maybe the big furniture. I don't know. Tangent. But I have all these projects that I could start in like 10 minutes if I wanted to. But I don't want to start anything else, because plus my stuff is always on its scroll rods. So if I don't have a scroll rod that's free, I can't really start anything anyway. So since I had finished the Sleepy Hollow, I have scroll rods. So here's my new start. I'm sorry, I'm jibber jabbering. Okay, it's from Stitcherovia on Etsy. Can't remember what she calls this one. But it is the tattoos, and it says like believe in yourself or something. I'll put up a picture of what the completed project looks like. And this is my tiny little start. It's like 250 stitches. Oop, wrong side. Here it is, just one little corner. I'm doing the black first, black outline, and then I'm filling them in. I just don't know. Like, I can never figure out which is I try to do like the little things first. That way, when I jump, like from this green to this green, and then I go down and fill in this green, there's those jumps. And then I try to do the littler things, but I don't jump far. And then when I fill in with the big stuff, it covers up the stitches on the back. Let's see. Where's a good way to show that? So this is the Chinese Zodiac from Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. So on this one, there's like little bits of green, there's the little bits of red, and then there's like a lot of blue. So what I did was I did the little things first and then did the blue last. So the blue stitches over all those jumps. So my backing looks like messy, but not messy. And my advanced friendship bracelets, I call that organized chaos. Because it's like it holds down. That one maybe you can see better on the pink side. It holds down those little jumps, so you don't have as much loose things that can get caught on stuff. I should stitch on that too. So I have all these that didn't get touched. All those didn't get touched. Because I want to get Buddy the Elf done. So this, it looks like the green. Let's see, I feel like I can't. Okay, there we go. So you can see there's that bigger jump, but I think the yellows from the flower will cover up those. So it won't have that big loose, well, not loose, but that big long string to get caught on things. So that's how I try to do it. So I want to do my black outlines on each motif, because it's basically a bunch of motifs that look like Sailor Jerry old school tattoos. I have lots of tattoos. Most of them are little. So I like tattoos, and I like Sailor Jerry tattoos. I don't really have anything that's Sailor Jerry style. I always have more that I want to do, but I just haven't done anything in a long time. Since my little girl was born. I have Maggie Simpson, because my little girl's name is Magdalena, and I call her Maggie, so I have Maggie Simpson on my ankle. That was the last thing I got done. And she needs redone, because it looks like she got a black eye. Because the dude that did it was, oh, he was so heavy-handed, and it's like, it blew out. But, so I've really been wanting to do this one for a long time, because it's lots of colors. I really want to do it. So I figured I'll at least start it. And it's actually not very big. And then it's like the stitching area is this big. It's this many stitches wide. It's got a 10 stitch border around the whole thing too. So it's even smaller than it says. But whatever. It's still cool. I like it. I'm really excited. So that's all my stitching. Now, oh, here's the colors. This is what made me think to just start over. So this is the colors for it. So like in the middle, there's two hands shaking, and then, I don't know, all sorts of cool stuff. But so there's some skin tones in here. There's blues and pinks and greens. And, oh, I love this. It's like a wine color. It's like Merlot. I don't know. I was really excited to start that one. Other than that, I do have one that I'm going to start. So, I dyed some more fabric. I'm really late to the game on this one. It was, I think, the 2019 Stitch Along. So I'm 2 years late on this. And now that I joined the Facebook group for it, it's like, you see things, and it's like you want to ask questions, but the posts are 2 years old, so you don't know if anyone's ever going to answer your question if you comment. But it is the Cunning Cross Stitch, the Harry Potter, or the Hogwarts. Oh my god, I can't talk. I couldn't read my little girl's books. I kept stumbling over the words. Cunning Cross Stitch. It is the Letters from Hogwarts. Stitch Your Own Adventure. So everyone's using like parchment colored fabric. And I have blown my, I don't have a budget. I don't know what I'm saying. I've blown my budget. I've spent so much money. I just don't have money to order. And then I don't want to wait for fabric either. So I had the Artiste brand 18 count Ada in the cream color. And I'm like, and I got the caramel colored RIP dye. And I'm like, because I've watched a video on how to tea dye it, and I'm like, I can tea dye it. That'll be fine. Whatever. And then I happen to be at the store, and at Hobby Lobby, they don't charge very much for their RIP dye. So I'm like, I'll just get the caramel color. So my first, I don't know if this is going to show up how dark it is. Oh yeah, it does. That's how dark it is. This is my first go. It's very dark, but it is parchmenty, but very dark. And the stuff is dark enough that I don't want this for it. And then, so this was the big 29.5 by 36 inch ivory. It just happened to be right there on my trash can. So I'm like, I can do it over it, and then it'll just look like parchment. Well, so it's that big piece, and then the fabric I need is 20 by 20. So I cut the 20 by 20. So I had a strip down the side that was, I can't tell you how big it was. I wrote it on here, but it's probably, this is 10 inches by 20. I went ahead and I poured out some of it because this was so dark. I poured out some and added water and poured out some more and added some more water until I got it light enough. So this is more what I was looking for. Obviously I can't use this for that project, but I can use it for my Year of the Monkey and Year of the Rooster. The Monkey and Rooster, yeah. Chinese Zodiac, because I'm a monkey and my little girl's a rooster. And I thought, well, I might as well try it. So it'll look cool because it's red and white. And then at the bottom, it's black and it says Year of the Monkey and Year of the Rooster. And I thought I can put both pieces on, like both of them on one and hang it up, like frame it and hang it up. So that's more what I was looking for, like a lighter color. Like, look at the difference. Like, that's the difference. This is what I was looking for, but whatever. It was too late. I'd already gotten it dark. So this was my second try. Because my mom was working out in the yard. We were going to go take stuff to the compost facility or whatever. And she was out working in the yard. And I'm like, well, I'm going to go ahead and try again. This time, that was like 2.5 caps. And I'm like, whoo, that was definitely too much. So this is 1.5 caps. And it's still darker than I want, but it's better. I think the pattern itself will show up. So I went ahead and gridded it up. Grid. Only problem is I gridded it before I've ironed it. So this is how it's going to be while I'm stitching on it. Because if I iron it now, all my grid will disappear and then I'll have to re-grid it. So I'm going to try it this way first. So that is my fabric for it. I got, they give you, you get a full color list, and they give you the color list and they show you what is mandatory and what, because there's all sorts of options. That's how it's like a choose your own adventure book. There's all sorts of options that come in, so you might not need all the colors because some of them are optional. They just come up when you choose different things. So I got, but they give you the list and they tell you what you need for the frame. So I got all the colors for the frame. Everything I need for the frame and for the wand that I chose. You roll a dice to pick the kind of wood, and then the tip of the wand, and then the handle of the wand. So you roll a dice 3 times. So I got my wand colors and the whole frame. And there's these, and then there's, I think I have like 12 more over on a thing again already. Only problem is I'm down to 12 Annie's Keepers. So I need to order more. So I can't even put all of these on Annie's Keepers. So that's annoying. So we have to order more. But that just shows how much I have already hanging up. How much I've got kitted up and how much I have in my stash. Because all my stash is on Annie's Keepers. I will insert a picture of all of the rings. Actually, I can grab some. Hold on. This isn't even all of them. I still have, I don't know, 6 over there. And then there's 2 on my Lowry stand. I don't think I could hold more if I tried. So these are all just either ones that I have in progress, which I have 11 WIPs. So 11 of these are WIPs. And then the rest are ones that are kitted up on their rings. This one is the Bee Bouquet. This one is Fifth Element. My pineapple. You know, so these are ones I'm working on. Art Deco Lady. I'm not working on her now, but I will restart her. So that's a lot. Well, the last order I got from them was a 300-piece set. And I think the time before that, I got the 100-piece set. And then the original set was like the starter set, which was like 50, and then you got a certain amount of the storage slides. So I have a lot of them, and I'm down to 12. So I'm definitely going to order the 300-piece set again. But it's like, you place the order, and they don't charge a card right then. They wait until they're getting it ready to ship, until they have your order ready to ship, and then they try to run your card. So the last 2 times, and I forgot this last time, I tried to do Klarna so I could make payments. So I run it, and you get the one-time card for Klarna, and then that amount is, they get all of their money right then, but you pay Klarna back. Well, by the time they try to run the card, it declines it because the one-time card is only good for, I think, 24 hours, or 48 hours, maybe 48. So it takes them like a week before they run the card. So it's like I want to make the order a week before the week before I, actually pay, but I don't know. Because with the shipping gets you. You're like, oh, it's not that much. Well, I mean, it is that much, but it's like, oh, that's not that much, until you ring it up and you go through the checkout, and then it's like $15 to ship. But whatever. I love their stuff, so. And they're literally the only place that has them. But, so, there we go. I need more. But I also need those hooks to hang them on. Okay, I'll be right back. Give me a second, and then we will get into some haul, and I made myself a project bag, and I'm gonna be making another one. So I'll be right back. Hold on. That's the other ones for the Hogwarts frame. So this is just the frame, but I can only put like half of these in keepers. Was where I started with that conversation. Okay, so I made myself another project bag from the Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch tutorial, which I'll link below because it's great and it's so easy. If you can use your sewing machine at all, so you can stitch a straight line, you can do this, I swear. Clips, you don't have to use the exact easy clips, or I think they're called easy clips, magic clips. You can figure it out. You don't need those clips, and it's helpful for sure. But so I made another one, but I made a little bit different because when I have a project, I don't have paper patterns, and I have, you know, my floss, my tablet, my Project Pal, you know, that's what I take, and my earbuds if I'm going to work, and my awesome Target AirPod cover. So one thing I did different was I added a loop, a handle, because at work, if it's still there, because another girl on Thursday kind of made me mad. I don't have a locker. I don't think it's necessary. If I have a locker at work, I'm gonna throw crap in it. And it's just gonna be a locker full of crap. And since we don't have to leave our vests there, we can take our vests home. There's no reason to walk all the way to the back to get my vest when I can I leave it in the car. So I have a hook. I put up a hook behind register 5. I put up a hook just for me. I put it up so I can hang my vest when I go to lunch. I don't have to throw it on the floor. I don't have to throw it on the shelf. I can hang up my scroll rod when I'm working. Well, on Thursday, I got there at 7, and one of the other girls had thrown her jacket on my hook. It's my hook. So I'm definitely going to make a label that says Liz's hook. I can't make a big deal, because then they'll be like, well, you're not supposed to have anything back there anyway. So I don't want to get it so I can't put my stuff there, but I don't want her to put her stuff there. It's just a crazy thing. But, so I wanted a handle just so I can hang it on that hook. So here's my awesome bag. This is a bag I wanted to make a while ago. So it's orange plaid, and it's Halloween-y fabric. So the thing I did different, you see the stripe down the middle? I separated my pocket. So I have 2 separate pockets, because like I said, if I have the big thing, everything slides to one side. So I figured this way I can have my tablet and the buddy in one side, and I can put my floss in the other. See if I can do this without dropping it. Awesome, right? And it doesn't slide around. And then I had got the pattern for the cross stitch clutch. Cross stitch clutch, yeah. From Starlight Stitching Co. I bought the pattern and I was going to do it, and I was going to make it a little bigger so it would fit my tablet, because hers is like skinny. It's like this big, but when you open it up, it folds in half and snaps. Then when you open it up, it has like fleecy stuff like this. This is Dot Dot Goose Project Pal. So it's got fleecy stuff, so you can throw your little thread scraps. So this cross stitch clutch, it's got like a vinyl pocket, and then like a pocket behind it, so you can't, it's like a hidden pocket. So you can put your scissors and stuff back there without accidentally cutting what's in the front. And then the whole thing opens up. So I wanted to try to do that. And then I realized that since this was my kind of idea to make this kind work, to make that fold, like that line, and basically all I did was make a double fold tiny bias, or double fold like bias tape, but just binding tape, not really bias because it's not fold on the bias, but, and then I stitched on that way the stitches won't rip out of the vinyl. And then I'm like, well, it kind of folds itself in half. I could just put snaps in those corners, and I've got my own little project clutch thing. And then I'm like, but it just doesn't have that, but really I don't need that much. So that's what I'm going to do with my next one. And I'm going to buy the snaps anyway, and I am going to snap this too. So my next one, I think I showed the fabric last time. I found Harry Potter fabric at work, and they're just fat quarters, but it's got, you know, Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, Slytherin, and Ravenclaw, and then Harry Potter. So my plan for the next bag is I am going to stitch the 4 kinds together. So it's like, so it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, but I'm going to stitch them together like a quilt square, like a quilt block. And that'll be my inside fabric, and then my outside fabric is going to be the Harry Potter. And then, but I'm going to do the fold thing in the middle. And then I'm going to, you know, have it snap and fold. And I thought, since I don't want all of this to be like the fleecy stuff, because to me, I'm not going to use that much, what I'm going to do is I got the 4 pieces of felt, which is right there. You know what felt looks like. I got red, green, yellow, and blue felt. And then I found just a super simple pattern, like outline of the Hogwarts crest. And I blew it up on my iPad and traced it on parchment paper. And I'm going to stitch those together and then stitch that onto the background fabric before I put the sandwich the fabrics together. So that'll be a little bit of Project Pal throw your thread scraps. Oh. This was supposed to be it will be. I was gonna say this was supposed to be a shorter video. The only other haul I got was from Amazon. I got a giant piece of 18 count. This is 36 inch by 59. It's oatmeal. I figured it'd be nice to have some natural kind of color. And I was at the dollar store to get a new bin to put all my RIT dye bottles and dyeing stuff in. And they had new steering wheel covers. I don't know if anyone else knows this hack. These are great grime guards. I don't really use them for anything other than the ones that have the butterfly, the wing nuts, because I tend to scratch my arms on the wing nuts when I'm stitching. This time I put them up. Usually I put them down. But then when I'm stitching, like, I hit my arm on them and it hurts. So I found that if I put, well, this actually fits my little Q-snap also, but all I gotta do is like just put it around the edge and it just covers those up. Like I said, this time I figured I would try putting them up. I didn't want to do it that way before because I thought the threads would catch on it. So I guess we'll see. It's not that big of a deal to flip over the bars. So they had two new ones, like, and they're both kind of tie-dye-y. I don't know. I figured $1. And then they had another fat quarter, and this one is Christmassy. I think it's red trucks with Christmas trees in the back. I can't really tell, but I figured it'd be good for a project bag. And then I got ribbon. It says Merry and Bright for finishing the elf. And then the other big thing I got to make more personalized needle minders. I got myself a We Are Memory Keepers button press because it was on sale at Joann's and you could use Klarna. So I got the button press, which comes with the medium size round buttons. So this is what I made. Oh, and then I just got a few sheets of scrapbook paper that I thought had cute patterns on them. So I got like this, I wanted something that was oceany for my beach stitch, and then they had one that had ice cream cones, and so I got beach. So this one's a puffer fish, and then I got the square insert and a pack of the squares, and this one's jellyfish. And then I got another one that had bugs on it. So this one has a bee and a lightning bug. This one's a grasshopper. Here's one of the ice cream cone ones. It's got ice cream cones and donuts. And then this one has, I think, a rhinoceros beetle. I don't know. I thought they were cute. And I just wanted something to try them. So basically all I did, I just dropped them on the floor because I wasn't going to talk about them anymore. Before I put them together, I took the pins off. That way I can just glue a magnet on there. So I'll have extra pins, but that's okay. So that was the other haul. What else? Okay, editing Liz popping in. I did get more haul. I forgot. I did order myself another set of Arabesque scroll pads. I'm just gonna pick them all up because why not? Okay, so I realized I have been saying it wrong the whole time. I've been saying you get 3 sets of scroll rods and then 3 sets of the sidebars. I'm wrong. You get 3 sets of the scroll rods and only 2 sets of the sidebars. So there we go. So this time I ordered the small set. I've gotten the large set the other 2 times. But I wanted to make sure I had another 12-inch set because I have a couple small projects and I don't want to have to order another 12-inch set. So this time I got the small set. So it came with, oh, I didn't write it on there. It came with 12.5, 16, and 19, I think. And then the 2 sets of sidebars. So there's a shorter set and a longer set. And then obviously 2 sets of knobs. So 1 bar you don't have enough, or yeah, you can have 2 things set up. So that was my other piece of haul that I forgot about. So there we go. And I was wrong. The animal alphabet, the original one I got for my little girl, I didn't like the vulture. It didn't look like anything. It just looked like a blob. So I went ahead and got the other animal alphabet because I feel like it's better. It looks more detailed. And I was hoping that the colors were the same. They're not. So all these colors, I don't know what I'm going to do with them. They're different colors on the new pattern. So I guess these are going into my stash. Other than that, I think that is it. I don't have anything else. So I will try to get this edited, cut out some of the jibber jabber maybe. And then I will start uploading it tomorrow. It'll probably take all day again. Maybe I can get it up by Sunday. I will see you guys next week. I will film again next Friday. When I get done, I take a picture of everything I showed, or my WIPs that I showed today. That way, next week, I can compare.